everyone, welcome to the unboxing portion of the upgrades on my 2009 Harley Davidson Ultra Classic here, sponsored by Dynojet. So in the introduction to this series, I talked about kind of why I'm going to be doing this upgrade and what we're going to be doing. So now let's take a look at some of the goodies that we're getting. This first box I'm going to be opening up is the 110-inch power pack that comes from S&S. So let's see what's inside. And full disclosure, this has actually been sitting in my garage for a little bit. This is actually the first time I'm opening it. So you will be, I'm going to be just as surprised as you are, or not surprised, at what's inside. Probably should have set up a garbage can before I started this. Alright. So first thing I'll say is everything's really well packaged, which is nice. A lot of times when you get things, it surprises you when you open it up and you think, really, they shipped it this way? But this is really solidly packaged, which I like. So you get 2 boxes inside. This one's marked the cylinder kit. I want to see what's in this one first. Once again, everything's really well packaged. So, service bulletin. Let's see. Well, I don't need to read this just yet, but some important information. And then, looks like this is the cylinder, or one of them. This is nice. Let's see, is there anything in this, or is this just plastic? Bubble wrap. Yep, that's just bubble wrap. Alright, so So one of the things that I really like about this kit is that this is a bolt-on kit, meaning that you don't have to have the crankcase machined, which is really a big deal. You know, we're able to kick the bike from 96 inches up to 110 inches, so you've got a 15% or so increase in displacement, and being able to do that without going to a machine shop, that really makes things easier. So this is a really nice, this seems like a really nice casting. I don't see any kind of casting flaws in it. It looks like it's nicely machined. The bore, which you can't really see on here, but the bore looks nice and smooth with a really good cross hatching. That's very important to have. And seems like a really good quality part. It's well packaged. Let's see what else is in there. So that's it for that box. And then let's put this back in. Comes with a little cardboard here to protect the bore. That's a good thing. You definitely do not want to have any nicks or anything on your bore. Also came with these little dowels as well. I'll admit I have not read the instructions just yet for the install, so I'm sure there's some parts here that I don't know about. So let's see, we got this, we'll put this back in. Another piece of cardboard I don't need. Packing list. Let's see, so here's the gasket set. And these also look to be, I don't want to open this bag just yet and risk losing the small parts, but you can see on here, got the good cylinder, head gaskets. We've got the O-rings that go around the cylinder bases. And then we've got the exhaust gaskets right here as well, along with some various O-rings. So this looks to be really complete. It's pretty funny, I think I've mentioned that I used to work on aircraft engines for a living. piston engines for aircraft. And the construction of an air-cooled aircraft engine is very, very similar to this. The biggest difference is that the cylinder heads and the barrels are basically shipped as a single unit. Obviously they're cast differently, but you still got those O-rings at the cylinder bases and everything, so this is pretty fun. We've also got this box here of Carrillo high performance pistons. So we've got rings here. We've got two sets of rings. Got your oil control ring as well as your compression rings. Let's see. Then we got underneath. Ooh, these are nice. This is a really nice lightweight piston. This is a really nice casting. I've always heard of Carrillo and known that they make good stuff, but this is actually the first time that I have seen and held a Carrillo piston up close. This is really nice. Nice and lightweight. Lightweight rotating assembly is a really good thing, assuming you can maintain the strength, and Carrillo definitely has the reputation for that. So this is really cool. This is really cool. Got the other piston in here. Same thing with your valve release in there. And let's see, now we got a couple of wrist pins as well. So this is nice and complete. Let's see, and so definitely don't lose this piece of paper. So these right here are your little C clips, and the C clips you can't, I'm sure you won't be able to see on the video, but there's grooves in here, and so those clips go in to help to keep the wrist pin in place. I've actually seen where the wrist pin was not installed correctly on an aircraft engine, and I'll just say it didn't end well. So yeah, that's important. Let's see, piston spec sheet. So this just points out that it's 4-inch bore, stock stroke of 4.375 inches. Let's see. Yep. Okay. Nothing else really there that we need to look at. So we can put all this back in this box. Then the fourth part is, this should be the other cylinder. Let's take a look. Same thing, got this little piece of bubble wrap in there. Got the little dowels in there as well. Here's the cylinder. So I guess kind of just holding this up to the bike where it goes on, you can see this is going to blend in pretty well, really. Still has S&S cast on here, and I believe, if I remember correctly, S&S does offer some that have been painted black in between the fins like these are. You certainly could do that. I'm not going to bother with it. I don't see a need to. But you can also start to see kind of how this comes apart and goes together. So basically the cylinder head around here is going to come off. Obviously I'm going to have to take the tank off first, but tank off, valve cover off, cylinder head off, and then you can see that there's going to be enough room to slip the stock cylinder base barrel off, and then be able to get the piston off, put the new pistons on, and put it all back together. So yeah, so this will be fun. All right, let's put this guy back in. I want to point out the really good packaging again. it might just be my luck, but recently I've been ordering a bunch of parts, especially performance parts, and I feel like most of the time the packaging is just awful. I ordered an exhaust for my truck and it just looked like they'd thrown the thing in and sent it over. So it never impresses you when you see that. Of course, S&S is a well-known company, so it doesn't surprise me. All right, here's the other box. So since that was the barrels and the pistons and kind of the meat of it, put that may not go back in the same way. I'll look at that later, but don't lose those dowels. That'd be important. All right. Let's see what's in here. So this should have all of the other stuff. So, yep, sure enough, here's the full-on installation instructions. Comes with, looks like it comes with some really good pictures here too, which is always nice. Especially if you're taking one of these apart for the first time like I am. So that's good. Service bulletin on the oil pump. So I'll have to read that one later. So then let's see what else we got in here. Even comes with engine assembly lube. That's a nice thing to have in there. Let's see, thread locker. This is a really complete kit. I have to say, I'm very impressed. Yeah, it comes with 3 tubes of Loctite 243 thread locker. Oh, 2 tubes of that, sorry, and then 1 tube of 262, so I'm assuming they call out all of it. And then this engine assembly lube here. I really like it when I see a company that sends you everything that you actually need, because so often you end up buying something and they say everything you need, and then you get it and you find, well, now I gotta go to the store and I gotta buy, you know, all these different forms of Loctite or all these other little details, and you can't actually just sit down and work on the thing. Now that's not to say that you can just sit down and work on this without having the right tools and things like that, but we'll talk about some of the tools needed in another video. So this is a really nice casting, or really nice piece as well. So this would be the I believe they call it the TC3 plate. Here we got a set of 4 lifters, nice roller lifters here. This is another one where I kind of don't want to, let's see, no, I can open this one. Let's take a look at it. Okay, now I'm not going to open this nice sealed bag because they're oiled and I'd like to keep them that way. But definitely look like they're good parts. I certainly don't see any issues with them, and look like good quality roller lifters. So those will be good. So I'm not an expert on details of Harley engines, but the stock oil pumps are known for being issues on these, and so that's one of the things that this full-on kit addresses is trying to correct that. So now we get into the oil pump. So this is they call their TC3 oil pump. And let's see. So let's get this out. And it comes with another thing of engine assembly lube right there. So let's see. So these parts have a little zip tie holding them together, but this looks like a really nicely machined oil pump. Looks like a good quality unit. But yeah, one of the things that this kit has is it includes the upgraded oil pump, so that you can correct, while you're doing all this work, you correct the oiling issues that come with the engine, that the stock pumps have, so that you don't have issues once you start running it. A couple more tubes of Loctite, 262 and 243. I should keep all of these with the oil pump because they were on this side. New hardware, new O-rings as well. So this thing's kind of, let's see, we'll just put that right there. One minute. I think I may have misspoke and said nicely cast piece, but right here says forged, which I should have noted in the first place. But yeah, this is the plate. This is the plate that has that holds the cams in place. Nicely upgraded piece from factory. And when I get into doing the actual build and take things apart, I'm going to make a point of comparing the parts I'm taking off versus the parts I'm putting back on, so you can see both what my old ones looked like and what condition they were in when I pulled them off, as well as seeing the improvements on the new ones. So let's see, we've also got a pair, hydraulic cam chain tensioners. Look like some good pieces as well. And then last few bits, we've got adjustable push rods so that you can make sure that your push rods are the correct clearance. Includes the push rod, they upgraded the new push rod tubes, and it looks like this includes all of the hardware kit. Let's see what's in the hardware kit, I'm curious. And then there's this little screw here as well. I want to take a look at this hardware kit because everything else has been really complete, and I just want to see what's in here. We've got a couple of gaskets in here. One thing to be careful of when you're cutting this open is make sure that you don't cut any of these gaskets, because then you're going to need to go buy new ones. Alright, this is where I'm going to say I really hate this plastic cover packaging. I know it makes sense and it's good stuff, but it's a real pain. So, let's see. So we got the gaskets, we got a whole bunch of O-rings in here that we're going to need. And then got also have the bearing, got 2 bearings here for the camshafts. So, so all of this. Yeah, so this is all looking really nice here. Then lastly, fun part here, camshafts. Oh wait, no, not lastly, because they sent us an S&S sticker. That's important. I gotta go put that on my toolbox. Alright, so this one is the rear camshaft. Let's take a look here. This is a nice looking unit. Wrap that back up. And the front camshaft. Looks similarly good. Looking unit. So I'm going to have to take some time and put all this back together, and hopefully I can get it back in the same boxes that it was in before. But I'd say my overall impression is that this is a really complete kit. It doesn't leave anything out in terms of sealing, gaskets, things like that. This really looks like it includes everything that you need to go ahead and do this work. I'm not seeing anything off the top of my head that looks like I would need to buy in addition, so that's pretty cool. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions about what was in here, make sure to put those in the comments. And don't forget that this is a series that is going to be both on the Dynojet YouTube channel as well as my YouTube channel, which is just Ted Dupuy. You can find a link in the description below if you're watching this on the Dynojet YouTube channel. And we're also going to have a series of blog posts that talk about these details. So that's it for this S&S Big Bore 110-inch power pack. This is good for most of the twin cam Harleys. In fact, according to this right here, it says 2007 through 2016, big twins. So a lot of different engines that this could work on. So next, we'll do some others. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it.